Well, I've actually got a leg sled related question.
Oh.
Now you've had a lot of experience with the sled. I've seen the Battle for Olympia tape in, I think it was 2002. You were training on it, or it might have been before then.
Yeah, it was, yeah. No, it was in 2002 when I was getting ready for the Olympia and San Francisco that I won. Yeah, it would have been beginning of the year 2002 for the San Francisco in the shed in California.
Yeah. And then you had one in your last home gym.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the leg sled compared to a leg press? We often get asked that.
I just find that, I don't know, just, I'm always doing the same movement, but this way you're coming down rather than being inverted the other way for a leg press. I just find, sometimes with a leg press when you go heavy and you like that and it comes down, you feel like you're being squashed a bit. And sort of, this one I just find not bad. I said when I used to do it, I'd load it out to the end, then I'd put the bar through behind it and load a big Olympic bar up on it, so it takes heaps of weight. But it's hard to say, they're both good on the quads, but really it's one of those things you really have to feel it for yourself. It's like those, the ones over the gyms now where you do squats and you put over your shoulders this way and squat like that with the foot finger like that. It's okay, but I find that your back comes away for it. That's why I prefer this one much better, because I've never felt that on my back or knees. And I've had that loaded out that it helped. You made me that special bracket that time where I put the other bar across, and I've had that loaded up and never felt any pain anyway, but the other ones they make now where you face out this way hurt my back and that a lot. So that's probably a better one. And the leg sled, like I said, compared to the leg press, it's almost the same. You just don't get that squashed effect, but it's almost like a cross between a leg press and a hack squat type of feeling. So but I like it.
Yeah. Well, one thing that puts people off the sled is that you can't. Yeah, but one thing of.
Well, when I see one of those guys actually win a show or get pro and win a pro show using the sled and saying it hasn't got enough weight, then I might believe him. But like I said, I've put, when you had those 25 plates, I had it loaded out here. I had the bar put through here, so I had an Olympic bar sticking out to here, and it was all loaded up. And I've got a great leg workout on it, so I never had a leg press when I won the pro show back then. I just used the leg sled, that squat machine. I used to have the old Powertec, remember the inverted leg press that you pushed up?
Yep.
I had that, and the leg extension, and that was pretty much all I used, plus free weight squats. So for these people who say they haven't got enough weight, I'll challenge them anytime to come train legs with me, and I guarantee if we don't go over 3 plates here, I could keep 1 to 2 plates on there and do them properly with negatives. By the time they've done the extensions, they'll be almost ready to leave and puke before we even get to a leg sled exercise. So the ones who say they haven't got enough weight just ain't doing it properly. Anyone can bounce weights and do this, whatever, but to do it properly and tense them and squeeze them, and then throw in a little extra, little fun things I do, we'll see if there's enough weight or not. So trust me, they won't be asking to put more on, they'll be asking for me to take plates off. That one gives you good tension. So when I do them too, I never lock out. Unless I'm going heavy and I'm having a bit of a breather, get my breath. I always try, and people who have competed before know that if you stand on stage, you tense your legs like that. So I always try and keep a little bend in my knees. Every time I come up, I just give them a quick flex and tense, and then back down. So it's up, and then you're tensing them, and back down. It's not just going like this. So each time you're controlling it, then tensing them, and then back down. So you got constant pressure on them and tension on them the whole time. Whereas, like I said, a lot of people just go up and down and bounce it and do all that silly shit. If you're not out of breath when you get off it, you're not doing it right.
I've actually got another serious question related to a training one. Is that all right? Back to the sled.
Okay.
I mean, that one thing I guess you know, when people are decking out their home gyms, they automatically think of leg press because obviously they want it. That's one exercise they can lift plenty of weight with, but they don't factor in. You're going to have a leg press. You're going to load it up. You're going to need a lot of weight, so it does add a lot of expense.
If I made a choice for a home gym, leg equipment, I'd probably have a power rack so you can do normal squats. Then I'd have one of these squat machines and the sled. Leg press would probably be on the last that I'd pick, unless you can't squat and do other stuff and you have to go for a leg press, but I'll pick all the others first before a leg press thing.
Well, one thing I always say is,
you know, legs.
No. Well, actually, I'd use your advices, and you look at your
advices. You sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, that's how you say it when you're talking about weight training.
Advices.
One of the things I always pick up is you just keep pounding out reps. You don't count.
Now with legs you can do that. Legs can just take higher reps because you're on them all the time. They can. As I say, legs can be stimulated by low weight, 6 to 8 reps, but then after a while, like I said, the pounding of your back and your knees can get a while. And even when I trained with Tom, I found doing the high reps stimulated just as much as my legs grew doing a lot of the high reps. So I just find doing the high reps sometimes is a good change, and you can challenge yourself doing things. You know, after 30 years of training, you always got to mix it up a bit and think of new, wonderful ways to torture yourself.
Yeah, I just think if you're going to lift heavy,
you're agreeing with me on
do barbell squats.
Exactly. You can do front squats.
Yeah.
You know, back squats. There's a lot of. You can do lunges with a barbell. So there's so many things you can do. So, like I said, a bar can be used a million ways. I wish my hammies were a bit tighter the other day. Twang. If I was being serious, if I was at home just with this weight alone, I'd probably do sets of 50 and stuff like that, even maybe 100. The other day on leg press, we had 5 plates aside, did like 20 odd reps, took one off, did like 15, took one off, did 20, and then the 2 or 3 plates left on, we did like 55 reps, didn't we, non-stop. So doing stuff like that. But first when we started off with extensions, and then we went up when we had the 5 plates on. First we did 50 rep sets for about 2 or 3 sets, and then on the way back we started taking them off to get to 100 reps. So, but if I was doing this at home, I'd probably do sets of 50 and stuff like that after extensions, or that one over there. So, like I said, I did that Monday. Today's Thursday, and my legs are still sore now. Leg soreness is an awful thing. You're lucky you never have to experience it. You want to see the legs on this camera, man. They're always covered up at the moment.
They call me the flamingo.
You stand on one leg. He just stands on the front lawn.
Well, when you see me daughters, you'll see that...
They got bigger legs?
Nah. We've got pretty bad leg genetics in the family. The Titan one.
Yeah, you're doing, I think, remember you were doing...
100 reps.
100 reps.
That was getting ready for the Ironman, wasn't
it?
Yeah. That one was a good video because it sort of, doesn't it go from training to the contest back to...
Yeah.
It was good. It was a good video.
But yeah, with that leg workout, when you say you do 100 reps, it wasn't 100... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You do 10, have a little rest, not get off the machine, then do another 10.
Normally I try and do as many as I can the first one before they start burning. So sometimes you might pump out 20, 30, then you'll start just holding it for a couple of seconds, get your breath and pump out more. But the actual, when you stop and hold it, you think it's going to help you, but it really doesn't. Because when you stop and hold it, your legs actually start getting more tired. So when you start again, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have stopped. But it's weird because even when you've got, like, say 10 to go, you think, it's only 10, I'll pump them out easy. You think, okay, I'll do 10 without stopping. You get to 2 and your body just stops. Even though your mind says keep going, your body just stops.
Now this is a very important question when doing 100 reps. How do you keep count?
Have somebody else count.
Yeah, because we
But
don't.
you do lose count, because I'll be doing it myself some days, and if I've got a number set in my head like 100, 200, I've got to get there, otherwise I feel like I failed. So if I'm counting, like I said, for a split second I'll be focused on what I'm doing, then I'm like, oh shit, was I at 26 or 30?
Yeah.
And then I start thinking, well shit, if I'm at 30 but I'm only at 26, I'm going to sell myself short by 4, so I feel like I'm cheating. So if I can't remember, I'll go back a few, so rather than say, okay, 30, but I normally a Jade count for me.
Why go back?
Jade will go halfway, and I'm like, oh fuck, only halfway. Say I'm doing 50, she'll go halfway, 25. I'm like, fuck, I swear I'm at 41. It's like when you're on the treadmill, you know, and you're doing walking. You think that's at least 30 minutes. You look down, it says like 12. It's like that when you're doing the leg presses. I think I swear I'm at 50, and she says halfway. And when you're already halfway and your legs are hurting and burning, you think, shit, they're hurting this much, I'm only halfway. How are they going to be for the next 25? So I always have someone else count. It's much easier. Well, I've had friends who count themselves, and I swear to God they're cheap, because they get on to do 50, I walk away, get a drink, come back, and they're locking it back, like, finished. I'm like, that was the quickest fucking
Without
50.
people like
Yeah, everyone
I
knows.
think they do to, like, you know, the 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4. They count the negative and the positive, so well, they do something, but I don't know how they get there so quick.
you know it's Tracy that does that as well.
This one?
Piped it, but no, not me. I'm the Rock.
Knee cracking now, Jesus. Must be winter. We're in spring now, aren't we?
Well, if your legs go, you're going to be in trouble. We'll be just training abs.
Exactly.